Let's be honest, policy management in most organizations is broken. Documents are scattered, approvals are slow, and compliance becomes reactive. Titan Workspace changes this completely by turning policy management into a structured, automated, and intelligent system inside Microsoft 365. Policy management is not a document problem, it's a process problem. And unless every stage is controlled, organizations lose visibility and compliance. Titan brings complete lifecycle control, from drafting to approvals to acknowledgements and revisions. This is not just management, this is governance at scale. What Titan delivers is not features, it delivers outcomes. A single source of truth, clear version control, and automated approvals. And most importantly, complete compliance visibility. You always know what's approved, who has read it, and where the risks are. Today, most organizations operate in chaos. Policies are everywhere, with no version control and no accountability. Now imagine the opposite. Everything centralized, every action tracked, every audit ready instantly. That's not an improvement, that's a transformation. The biggest reason policy systems fail is not technology, it's adoption. Titan solves this by designing for everyone. Policy managers get control and visibility while employees get simplicity. Find, read, acknowledge, done. No confusion, no training overhead, just adoption at scale. This is where Titan becomes truly powerful. With AI built in, users don't search, they ask. Policies are summarized instantly, drafts are generated automatically, and compliance risks are proactively flagged. This is not just automation, this is intelligence built into policy management. Now let's talk about something critical, data and cost. Titan runs 100% inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. No external storage, no third-party dependency, and no security concerns, and no per-user licensing. You scale without cost explosion. Titan doesn't replace your ecosystem, it strengthens it. It works natively with SharePoint, Teams, Outlook, and Microsoft security tools. Your users stay in familiar systems, and your IT team avoids complexity. You simply unlock the full value of Microsoft 365. If policy management is still manual, fragmented, or reactive, you're carrying unnecessary risk. Titan brings structure, automation, AI, and compliance into one unified system. The next step is simple. Let's show you this in action.
Let's start the demo. This is the dashboard for policy managers, where person responsible for managing, creating, and distribution of all these policies, everything is managed in this dashboard. This dashboard has different type of categories under which all the policies and SOPs can be managed and organized. This shows you how many policies are published, expiring, or they have already expired. This dashboard also works as a policy register where it gives you a comprehensive view of all the policies that have been published or in the different stages of their life cycle. Now let me show you how the categories and the subcategories can be created and managed in this dashboard. So policy manager can create any number of categories and define the appropriate subcategories, as you can see here. Now let me show you how the policies can be either created as a draft or uploaded from the system directly. And while uploading, you can upload all the file metadata and the properties. Now here I'm going to define the policy attributes like title, category, then subcategories, and then if the policy has some policy IDs, then co-author. In case at the draft stage I need more than one person to contribute to the draft, I can add their names and they'll get a notification for contributing to the draft. Now I'm going to upload a draft or a policy. Now this is important since Titan Workspace is a native app inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. It is fully integrated with your Copilot and MS Office. You don't have to learn anything new. It's your all existing M365 experience that has been embedded right inside Titan. While drafting, you can open this document as your normal MS Office experience in online or as a desktop app. This is so powerful. While I'm working on the policy, I can save it as a draft and continue to work as long as my policy is not finalized. So you can see that in the dashboard, I can see there are 4 drafts. I can open a draft, update again. In case you and your co-authors want to initiate track changes, you can do that easily as a standard MS Word experience. And once this policy is ready for approvals, let me go ahead and submit this for approvals and distribution. This screen gives me that how many policies are published, how many are under revision, how many are under draft. So I'm going to now submit this draft for review and distribution. This is the heart of the system that controls lifecycle. Now here I can set up policy expiry date. This can be forever or this can be a fixed date. In case this is not forever, then I can define when the revision must happen and the workflow will be triggered accordingly. So this workflow, you can define a deadline that this must be fully approved within so many days. And then let me show you the workflow. Now this is approval process. Here we have built 3-step approval process. So primarily one of the step is by process owner, and then from legal, and then from the CEO, right? So I'm going to walk you through the entire thing. On the right side, this is distribution and accessibility. Once the policy is approved and ready for distribution, these are the options policy manager can apply. One, is this policy for everyone, or is it for selective departments only? They can view, or you can create your groups and then you can distribute these policies to these groups, or you can pick up your names from the Entra and distribute only to selected people, right? So let's say for this demo, we're putting it for everyone. So now we can set up the permissions for the distribution list, that in case the policies are distributed and published on the portal, can employees download, or it is just an online they can read. Also, sometimes we have a case where policy doesn't need any approval and there's an option to apply a pre-approved document condition and the policy will be straightway published on the portal. Acknowledgement is an important compliance. Attestation is needed in many cases. So if you want your employees to read it and acknowledge and test it, and then sometimes you may seek comments from the employees against the SOP or policy for further improvements. So this covers the entire spectrum of the distribution scenario. This is task dashboard where I can see all my pending approvals. I can see that a policy has come to me as a process owner for my review and approval. Let me open that. Now I'm going to review and approve the policy as a process owner. So I'm opening the policy. I can see there are some track changes. So I am okay with that. So I go to my desktop, view of the Microsoft Word. And like normal MS Office experience, I can go and accept the track changes. And now my policy is ready for approval. So I can go and approve it. Titan comes with a built-in digital signatures, e-signatures. I can put my comments, remarks. Now I have approved it with my digital signatures and submit it. I can see that as a next step, it has gone to legal. Legal, I can actually see the history of the initiator, approval, and the entire process workflow. Now let me open this file and review it. I can see all the details. I can see the content, and then I can go ahead and approve it. Here I can put my digital signatures. So once it is approved, now as a third step and the final step, it's going to CEO. So as a final reviewer and approver, I can see the entire history and the audit trail of the entire policy approval process. Let me open the policy and see if I'm fine with everything and I should approve it. So while reviewing it, I found that policy needs some sort of changes, so I can always have an option to revert it back to either initiator or process owner or to legal. And this is automated through Power Automate, and you don't have to code. So I'm now going ahead and approving it, putting my digital signatures as CEO. This policy is now finally approved. I can put my remarks and they'll be tagged along with the history of the approval. Now let me walk you through the employee portal. Titan Workspace creates one URL, an employee portal for all the policies and SOPs where employees can go and find everything. They can see how many are published, how many need their attestation pending. I can add to my favorites. I can see them category wise. I can go ahead and filter them now. So I'm going ahead and opening the policy. As an employee, I can see a PDF. I can add my comments just to give some feedback. I can add it to my favorites. I can see all the approval history. In case there are minor change notes, I can read them. And if the policy needs an acknowledgement attestation, I see a notification there and I can go and now attest the policy. This will capture my digital signatures as a compliance. And now they are tagged with the history of the policy. I can see my compliance. Summarize what we saw today. This is the policy hub where policy manager will create the draft, do co-authoring, also manage revisions, also manage the distribution and role-based access for all the employees. Right? I can categorize these policies and put them into different functional areas. It goes to the approval dashboard from where this is. I can get a notification and I can go and see all these policies as an employee dashboard. Here we have an AI assistance, Titan AI agent. So this Titan Workspace policy agent is natively available inside the app, where you can search policies, compare them, find the summaries. In addition to this, the policy agent is also available in your Microsoft Teams as an agent. So you don't have to go to policy solution online. In case you have any query about the policy, you can just go to your Microsoft Teams and find any information about any policy. So like here, I'm asking for a summary of document control policy. So if you have hundreds of policies and your employees are spending a lot of time in searching them, finding the summary, finding the relevant policy, this agent can really help.